Today is all about saying thank you, and getting really, really real. And this is all a lead up to, well, everything that we're doing in this challenge is meant to uh, eliminate the obstacles and the resistance that you feel in your life, um, and the resistance that you feel toward growth, whether it's in your business or in your life or anything. Even other people's growth, sometimes we can have feelings about, like when somebody is growing or they're on a growth path, it can sometimes feel a little bit, um, I don't know, people just have different feelings about that. Sometimes you feel jealous if somebody is growing or they're reaching new levels, or they've leveled up and you're kind of like waiting for your turn to level up, and you can have some feelings about that. So there's so much that comes up in the journey of being an entrepreneur and just being a human, that gives us cause, or we feel like we have cause for, um, just having resistance or negative vibes, negative feelings towards something. And none of that serves our own personal growth. Everything in this challenge is really meant to help you learn how to move through those moments, and not, it's not about like just pretending to be happy all the time, because that's just not reality. And that's a little creepy, to be honest with you. It's like, I don't know if you've seen the Lego movie, that weird cat unicorn thing that's like always chipper, and then she completely spazzes out and it's really, really creepy. Yeah, that's what happens when you're just pretending to be happy all the time. Meanwhile, you're like this bubbling up mess underneath. So the reality is that sometimes we have those feelings, but if we have the tools and the skills, and have practiced moving through those feelings and identifying them and dealing with them and reframing them, then they can be really super healthy, and they can become part of our growth journey too. All right. So that is what everything we're doing is all about. Those of you that have taken Bliss before are going to feel like this whole 20 days is a bit more woo woo than you expected from me, and that's totally fine, because this is the current that runs underneath Bliss. Um, and through this year, I've delivered Bliss to many, many people. I've helped a lot of people create amazing strategies. And the people that really get all this mindset stuff and have done a lot of work and have continued on coaching with me to really lock in the mindset work, are the ones that have had amazing success with their strategies and executing their strategies. The people that haven't locked in the mindset work and haven't leaned on me for coaching to help them through some of the obstacles, and deal with the resistance, they haven't had the same amount of success in executing the strategy that they built. It's not that the strategy they built isn't good, it's great, but they weren't able to execute it for XYZ reasons. So I'm really hoping that through the next 20 days of, in doing all of the work, and doing the lists, and getting into the practice of journaling every day, even if it's for 5 minutes, and walking through some of these things will really help you uh, to be able to move through the resistance points and execute your strategy that you have invested in building, through Bliss. Okay, so that is what we're doing. And a big part of your mindset, and that like, conquering mindset is, and it's funny because if you do any like manifesting work or challenge, or read any of those books, they always talk about, and I never really got it really until about a year ago or 6 months ago, I guess. Um, the term, it's all for you. Like, what? What do you mean it's all for me? I always figured it's all because of me, like, as in, my entire like situation where I am in life, the ups, the good, the bad, the victories, the losses, is all because of what I have or have not done. And the choices that I've made have led me to be exactly where I am right now. So when people would say it's all for you, I would be like, wait, don't you mean it's all because of me? Like, and so I had a really hard time wrapping my head around that. The idea of everything being for me kind of felt a little bit like I was entitled. Like, it's all mine, mine, gimme. But I got it when I did this exercise with my coach. It helped to frame it all up for me. So I'll preface it by saying it's very, very hard to play the victim when you know in your core and in your heart that everything that you are going through, everything that you have gone through, and everything you will go through is actually a positive thing and a tool in your toolbox or an asset in your, in your portfolio. So every single thing, everything, the good and the bad, is all laid out and for you to experience and to go through and to overcome or to learn from or to succeed and to become victorious over. It's all for you, every single experience. And so if you see every single experience, every moment of the day, every single day, every action that you're doing, every opportunity that comes your way, every disappointment or seemingly disappointment is for you. It's a gift. Then it's really hard to kind of get down on, oh, shoot, that didn't work out for me. Well, maybe it did. This is the blessing in disguise. Who knows? Take it and learn from it and cherish it all the same as you would if it worked out the way you thought it would or hoped it would. So let's start off this exercise today by making a list of all of the things that are going really well in your life, all of the things in your life that you love, that you're like, yes, I'm proud of that. I love that. That is going really well. Whether it's your relationship with your partner or your relationship with your kids, if it's your career, if it's social media, it can be anything that you want. It can be, your sales channels are doing really, really well, or people really love the products that you make, or your finances are on an upward scale, or like whatever is going really well in your life, just make a list of it. Make a list of all the things going really well. After you're finished making that list, I want you to make a list of all the things that aren't going so well. Just list them out and don't think anything more of it. Just list them out. And I would love to get you to press pause here and do the work and then come back. So if you can, you're watching on the replay since nobody's here live, then pause and do those two lists and then come back to the live after. Okay, so now on to phase 3. So you've made 2 lists, one of everything going well, and the other list of everything that is not going so well. And then the third, I want you to, it's not necessarily a list, but I want you to go back and go through each of the things that you've listed out, so both of those other lists, and write a thank you card. So thank you to the universe for that thing going really well. Or thank you just to the thing, if you're not about the universe. So if your relationship with your partner is going really well, then you can say thank you, relationship, for being better than it was last year, or thank you, relationship, for filling up my heart and making me feel special. So thank you to the thing for something. All right. So thank you to the thing that you listed on your list. And then what are you thanking it for? What impact has it had? What have you learned from that? What have you gained from that? What did it bring you to? How does it make you feel? And how is that positive? So thank you to the thing that you wrote on the list, and then for what? I want you to do that for the list of things going really well. And I also want you to do the same thing for the list of things that is not going very well. So let's say that you had on there, on the list of things that aren't going very well, that woman who keeps sabotaging your customers. So like there's this woman who keeps like bad mouthing you. Not going so well, that. Now I'm going to ask you to say thank you to the woman who is bad mouthing your company. That's icky and hard, but it is for you. So thank you, lady who is bad mouthing me, for putting negative things out there in the universe about my company, too, and then what have been some of the positive things that have come out of it to allow my customers and fans to defend me, to show me that I am stronger and my belief and faith in what I do is stronger than her disbelief in what she does. And then, not even to make matters worse for you, for this list, the list of things not going well, I want you to thank the thing that isn't going well for giving you something, some learning, some extra strength, some awareness, something, and then send it love or peace or understanding or compassion, whatever the thing is that isn't going well. So yeah, do that. It's cathartic and it's really hard, and it really, really helps you handle those situations that come up that are like, ugh, what? So frustrating. You've just worked so hard and then this thing happens. Thank it, send it love or send it what it needs, and move on. You will adapt and adopt this pattern really quickly in your life because it feels good. It feels so much better to do this practice and move on rather than hold on to that feeling of like, ugh. Right? When you don't process the feeling, I'm not saying you're never going to be frustrated. You are. If you own a business, you are going to be stinking frustrated many times. But this process, I guess it takes that density out of the feeling of being frustrated. So you can feel frustrated, you'd be like, dang, that didn't work. Thank it for the attempt, for the learning, for what you took out of it, and then give it some more love. Okay, universe, let's send some more understanding, compassion, patience with this attempt, and we'll try it again. Because then you can move on and you can try it again without carrying over any PTSD that might be attached to the negative thing that happened. So you can try it again with a clean slate and an open heart and an open mind and full intention and no resistance. Because when you don't process and end up with in some kind of like peace or love energy behind a negative thing, then you will always have resistance to that thing. But you need to, if you can move through a negative situation and end up in a place of like, okay, I've made peace with this, I'm going to move on and try again, then it's so much easier to move forward and move on. I would love to be able to say that having the right mindset is going to mean that you're going to be blissfully happy for the rest of your life. Amen. That'd be great, but I'm not going to say that because that's crazy town. But I am going to say that adopting some of these practices and doing the physical work of writing it all out now, and I mean, people talk about a daily gratitude journal. I love that idea, but I also love, and starting the day with what you're grateful for, what's going well and what you're grateful for is amazing. And then if anything comes up in the morning that's a negative, then immediately be thankful for it, learn from it, and send it some love so that you can move through your day without the resistance of that thing. And then if anything comes up during the day, just make a little note in your journal at the end of the day before you go to sleep of like, thank you for the situation, for opening my eyes to an area in my life that needs some attention. I am going to give it some focus, let's send it some love and some focus or some calm or some peace or some whatever so that I can deal with the situation with an open heart tomorrow. It allows you to fall asleep peacefully, and it allows you to wake up and be like, okay, I've got this mission today. I'm going to deal with this situation without resistance. And that way you'll find solutions a lot faster. You will find support a lot faster, because it's hard. People are not going to want to jump in and help you when you're sitting there with so much negative energy, right? If you've got a problem and you need help, if you have this open, bright, open energy about finding the solution, then help is going to come for you to help you through the situation. People are going to be like, hey, I know somebody that can help you with that and connect for you, or whatever the issue or the cause or the support that you need to get through that situation will present itself if you leave that energy open and light and flowy, so that it can come back and forth. But if you're stuck and really super dense, then it's like hitting a brick wall. Nothing's actually going to penetrate or help, or you're not going to move. You're going to stay stuck in that moment. So if you're watching the replay, if there is a situation that has come up just in listening to me talking about this, if there's a negative situation that has come up in the past year, or something that even has just popped in your brain right now that you had never really thought about this, taking this approach with, or if there's like a situation that just keeps bonk, 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 like bugging you right now, write it in the comments. And if you are looking for support and you want to clear it, then do this exercise right in the comments right now. So thank you, blank situation, for fill in the blank. And I'm sending you whatever kind of energy to help clear space for a solution to move on. And then at the end of all of it, you're going to just write in your journal, at the very end of all of your lists and everything and all your thank you notes, you're going to say, I release all that no longer serves me. Done. That way, if there's some energy and there's some stuff that you still have to deal with, you'll still have it. And if there's stuff that you have dealt with now, it's gone. Okay, so that's kind of like, consider this like the rosary, that's a spice, an herb, the rosary, but like not so dogmatic. Anyhow, essentially, you're just going to say thanks. Thanks for the learning. Thanks for the opportunities. Thanks for the blessings. Send it all, peace and love and kumbaya, and move on. Start and end the day like this, or do one of the two. Give yourself that mental space and clarity to clear your energy. And anytime in the middle of your day, if you're feeling like you just have this heavy weight and you're like, ugh, or you can't convince yourself to do something, or you're stuck, just stop and say thank you to whatever is making you feel stuck. And if you don't know what's making you feel stuck, just say, okay, thank you, stuck feeling, for forcing me to stop and pause and take an inner inventory of how I'm feeling right now. I would like to release this feeling of being stuck so that I can figure out what's actually in my way. And then you have just kind of told your brain, okay, I'm trying to deal with you, but I don't know what your problem is. Please just tell me what your problem is. And probably by then, by the end of the sentence, you'll be like, oh, right, it's just because I really don't like doing my expenses, or I don't like doing my accounting. Okay, so then you can say, thank you, accounting, for showing me my numbers and letting me know how amazing I'm doing in my business, how much I've grown, how much the business has grown. Thank you very much for that. I would like to send my accounting tasks on my to-do list some love and some energy and excitement and joy, so that I can celebrate whatever the outcome of me doing my numbers and accounting is. Make it a party. If it's a task you really hate, that's what I do. Or some version of that story. Okay, so that's how you sort of move through those moments of being stuck. It takes like 30 seconds, and you don't end up wasting an entire day procrastinating, doing all the other things that you fill your time with when you're procrastinating. I bake, so I'll bake something because I'll convince myself that, well, we're gluten-free and dairy-free. It's very hard to buy things, so I have to bake things. So I'll bake all the things, then I'll eat all the things, and then I'll have to go and work out because I just ate all the things I baked, and then I'll have lost a day, sometimes two. So now I know I just stop and I identify what I am resisting to, or what is the block. Thanks for making me aware of it. What is it? Oh, that's what it is. Okay, let's send it some love and joy and fun. And then I crank the tunes and I just get the job done. It's way easier to move through those moments when you have a very, very quick tool that you can use. You don't have to always write it down. Some people really find it helpful to write it down because then it feels like it's gone completely. Like if you just do it in your head, it keeps rattling in your head. But if you actually put it, pen to paper and you write it out, then it somehow goes through the ink of the pen and it's out on the paper and it's gone. That's also cool. However you want to think about it, whatever way is good. Whatever way gets you through the moment and getting the job done is amazing. So there you go. I was going to segue into the topic for next week, but I'm not gonna, because I've rattled on all by myself with absolutely zero engagement from you guys for 23 minutes. Amazing. So there you go. I can talk to myself like a champion. Thank you, low engagement on a Saturday afternoon, for showing me that I can rattle on like a crazy person all day long. Okay, so when you're watching on the replay, send me some love because I'll take it anytime I can get it. And write some comments anytime. If you're watching on a replay and I say something that gives you an aha moment, then write it in. Write it in the comments, because when I read the comments, I'll read them in real time, even though you're watching on replay, so they'll still pop up. When you watch on replay, the comments will still pop up as I'm saying them in the replay. I don't know if that makes sense. Anyway, it's all for me and for the rest of the teammates and people that do this program after this round of it. We'll all see these lives. I'm recording them live now, but they might just be replay forever and ever. Amen. There you go. So don't hesitate to comment away, even if you're watching on the replay. And today's hashtag for the replay will be thanks, man. Hashtag thanks, man. Maybe not man, just thanks. Hashtag thanks. That's good enough. Or you can say thanks, man. If you're a Tragically Hip fan, you can say, hey, man, thanks. It's all good. It's all for you. You can make it whatever you want. As long as it says thanks in there somewhere, I got you. And I am very grateful for you. Thank you very much for doing this course. Thank you very much for your engagement and your comments and the work that you're doing. It is inspiring to me. I'm also doing the work with you, and I'm posting them underneath the daily cards that I put out there. And you can post all of your homework and to-dos in there as well, if you want. Or you can DM them directly to me, but get them out in the universe. Share them somewhere, some way, somehow. Share them, because then it feels better. It feels good. Okay, have an amazing day, guys. Tomorrow we will regroup and we will talk about what feels good and why it's so important to build your entire life around what feels good. Because who doesn't want to talk about that all day? What else are we talking about tomorrow? And nature. I'm going to go for a walk with my dog and maybe do the live from there if it's not totally freezing cold and snowy. I don't want to have the Blair Witch drip, on the live. So so we'll see. We'll see what the weather's like. But I will maybe do my live in nature, since tomorrow is also all about connecting with nature and what feels good. All right. Cheers, everyone. Love y'all. Mwah. Bye.